All right, everybody. I hope you're doing well. It's been a long time since I've made a video, obviously. I mean, you were there, and I wasn't, rather. But it's October 25th, and I don't know. I've been wanting to say a lot of things lately, mostly because I'm just tired of the theater. I've been trying to keep my mouth shut, trying to just sort of live my life and enjoy things, not paying attention to the news, not focusing so obsessively on all these headlines and just dumb shit that doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. None of it matters. I've expressed these sentiments before. It's all theater, right? It's all theater. I've already told you Trump is an actor. Biden is an actor. It's all symbolic. It's all just bullshit. Um, but it's getting to the point now where they're trying to divide people on such a big scale and polarize them, um, that it's becoming it's unavoidable to talk about, really, unfortunately. And and mostly what I want to focus on right now is voting fraud, right? And we know elections are not real. Let me say that again. Elections are not real. You can call them a selection. I'm not the first person to say this, right? Any person who's a real quote unquote truther or alternative media personality, whatever you want to call them, whatever you want to call me for that matter, if they're not telling you that elections aren't real and it's all theater and it has been theater for a very, very long time, all government is the exoteric representation of how money and control is moved around. That's all it is. It's not real. It's just theater. They're like, put this guy up front. He'll say this. Put her up front. She'll say that. It's so obviously bullshit. It's just, people have made the comparison between politics and professional wrestling. Donald Trump, he's done both, right? And he literally was an actor again. You know what I mean? How quickly people forget that. He was an actual actor, and Kamala, she's no better. Same thing with Biden. It's just all nonsense. And they're all related ultimately at the end. They all hang out together. They all have these secret connections and family bonds, and it's all bloodlines and nonsense. We know this. But I've just been noticing lately, like everyone keeps saying, oh, this election, this will be the one, and oh, this will determine if we have a civil war, and da 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 da. But it's like they're really missing the bigger picture of what this is all about, right? So even going back to when Trump had the quote unquote election stolen from him, right? And they put it in your face, like they put very obvious fraud in your face to make the people on the quote unquote right say, oh, the election was stolen from him. Sure, okay, fine, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's not a real election. If they do a fake stealing of it, it's still all theater, right? And if they would have done the same thing for Biden, made it so that Trump obviously stole it and Biden actually won it, they would have done the same thing. It doesn't matter which way they go, right? The whole point is they're trying to get people riled up on both sides. Get the right riled up, get the left riled up. There is no left and right, but I'm just using those terms, you know what I mean? And get everybody riled up. But you want to know why? Do you want to know why all of this is going on? Do you want to know why Elon Musk, the shill of all shills, Mr. 2018 Met Gala New World Order jacket himself, or Mr. rather, married Grimes, and she had the what was it, the tablet that she put out with the vaccines on it and the aliens, what the prophecy tablet and all this stuff before the fake pandemic they did. Like they're all in on it, right? Why do you think he's in on it? Okay, Mr. AI, Mr. gonna take us to Mars, Mr. Digital ID, right? Mr. Verify yourself on Twitter to prevent bots. Why do you think all this is happening? I just said it. Digital ID. That's where this is all going. That's what the whole point is. They want you to demand some form of identification which can be tied to you and nobody else, that no one else can steal or use, and oh, this will solve all of our problems. That's literally what all of this is. Period. That's it. This entire theater, going back to 2020, going back even before that, every election had fraud, right? Or selection, rather, whatever you want to call it, it all had fraud. Every single one, okay? Arguably since, Kennedy was shot, but probably before that, I mean, why not, right? The point is, okay, they want to do a long play. That's all it is. They're just making you so riled up that you get so frustrated and you just demand some way to prove that you voted for this person and it can't be taken away from you and your vote matters, and no one can steal your vote or pretend to be somebody else, or you have all these fake ballots, and that's all it is. It's digital ID. That's why Elon Musk and all these other people are involved, because they're conditioning the public to accept that. And they're doing it in different ways too. They're doing it with cryptocurrency. They're trying to build, the route to digital ID that way. They're trying to do it in many different ways. The war in Ukraine, right? Once Ukraine is destroyed, they're going to be the first fully digital government. Remember that? They posted a thing on their own website about that. It's just having to do with digital ID. That's all it is. And that's why I wanted to make this video, because you have to pay attention. If the people you're listening to aren't making this point, then they're not worth listening to, right? You can listen to someone who sounds like they're giving you good information, and that's what controlled opposition does, okay? They'll give you like 95, 99% of the truth, but then they give you one big lie, okay? And whether they're willing dupes or whether they're just people who, know what they're doing and they sold out or whatever, they're actors, I don't know. But, you can take your pick, right? Joe Rogan, Russell Brand, Elon Musk, Candace Owens, whoever you want to talk about, who sounds like they're really saying the righteous, oh my God, they're speaking truth to power. How have they not been killed yet? The reason they haven't been killed yet is because they're playing the game. I mean, if you're alive and you're saying things, pretty much that, you either don't matter and you're not big enough for them to come after you like me, or someone else like me, or you're playing the game. You know what I mean? Like, I thought they were going to kill me a few times, but at the end of the day, like, when I really think about that, I'm not that important. I'm just a fucking nobody. I'm literally nobody. I mean, I've been accused of being a Freemason and working for the CIA and all this other fucking stupid shit, but I'm just a nobody. I'm a nobody working for nobody. So why are they going to kill me? Sure, maybe they'll fuck with me a bit, but they're not going to kill me. You know what I mean? But these people at the top, if Elon Musk was really such a rogue, right? Like, he bought Twitter because it's going to be used to push digital ID. He used the whole, we have to verify who's real, and we want to make sure they're not a bot. Yeah, because you're pushing digital ID. The same guy who wants to put a fucking chip in your brain, you gonna trust this guy? Like, come on, man. New World Order, like I said on his jacket in 2018 at the Met Gala. Why would he do that? Why would he do that? Right? He's not for you, just like Trump. They're not your savior. You know what I mean? They don't give a fuck about you. They would sooner shoot you in the face and piss on your grave. They don't care about you. None of these people do. There's no political solution to our problems, right? What I want to say and what I can say legally are two different things. Hypothetically, what I want to say is we should be doing certain things to certain people and just, removing them, so to speak. But I can't vocalize that because they will show up at my door, kick it down, and put me in cuffs, and my life is thrown away because I made a call to action for something that would never happen, right? And not enough people would do it anyway, and I would just throw my life away. But you get what I'm saying. So there is no political solution to our problems. The only thing at the end of the day that you can do is make yourself as aware as possible to heighten your perceptive abilities and your abilities to seek patterns, or to recognize patterns rather, and to not fall for the bullshit every single time. They do the same tricks over and over and over, and people fall for it because it's a different person saying it, right? It's like, well, he's got a red tie on and the other guy had a blue tie on. Well, you have to laugh because it's just so stupid. Yeah, well, it's a man's world and this is a woman. She's gonna change things. Well, this guy's black. He's going to change things. You know what I mean? No, none of it matters. They're, like I said, at the end of the day, they're all related by blood, if you really want to go there. I mean, Candace Owens, as much as she's probably a shill, and you look into her background, right? She did do a good recent series of exposés on Kamala's heritage, showing that she's actually Jewish, for the most part, and not black at all. But I mean, who would have thought she was actually black? When you go and you trace back her lineage, of course she's not black. And she's actually related to Biden through the Finnegan bloodline. And just like this, I can't even remember, it was like an elementary school girl or a middle school girl who did a project, and it's like showing that all the presidents were related. Like, we know this. It's all bloodlines, right? And they marry into the same families who own the central banks, and it's just one big, amorphous blob of incestuous bullshit. So I just want to tell you, please be aware that all of this is simply leading towards digital ID. Nothing more, nothing less, digital ID. And then once they get that, they have total control. They're already going to do it with the money. Okay, you keep hearing CBDC, whatever. I don't know if that's the route they're going to go or if they're going to take a different route. What I can tell you for sure is there's going to be a digital ID that you will have to use to even get online or to do anything to participate in the world. And if you don't have it, you're not going to be able to participate. Call it the mark of the beast, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. My point is that it's going to be a digital ID, and that's what all this fraud is for. And you know what's funny is I saw this video a few months ago, and it kind of went under the radar. Sure, a few people talked about it, you know what I mean? But it really didn't get the attention it deserves, especially from Christians, right? People who want to call themselves Christian. It's like they want to support Trump and say, oh, Trump is for us and he's chosen by God and da-da-da-da-da. Not really. I mean, if you really think about it, he's probably the most anti-Christian guy there is. But I mean, listen to it. I don't even take my word for it. Listen to it himself, right? Listen to what he says. If you haven't seen this clip, I really implore you to watch it right now as I play it. Listen. He said this, I think, in June or July.
And again, Christians, get out and vote just this time. You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years, you know what? It'll be fixed. It'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you, Christians. I'm a Christian. I love you. Get out. You got to get out and vote. In 4 years, you don't have to vote again. We'll have it fixed so good you're not going to have to vote.
What the fuck does that mean? Oh, and by the way, did you catch that? You beautiful... I'm not a Christian. I'm not stupid. But you are, so listen to my bullshit, you fucking retards.
You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you, Christians. I'm a Christian. I love you. Get out. You got to get out and vote. In 4 years, you don't have to vote again. We'll have it fixed so good you're not going to have to vote.
What does that mean? Other than it's going to be a digital ID, something tied to your identity to where no one else can, pretend to be you. There can't be these fraudulent votes and, oh, the signatures don't match and, oh, they're a non-resident. None of that matters, right? This is the plan. So get ready for it. Whether you believe me or not is irrelevant. This is the plan. It will happen. And yes, there's going to be other things happening. There will be false flags and blah, 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 blah. But I'm done talking about all that, honestly. And that's one of the reasons I haven't made videos is because I'm so tired of covering shit that ultimately I realized it doesn't matter. I was wrong about so many things. I focused on things that didn't matter. And if I'm going to make a video, I think that it should just have substance and just nothing else. I don't want to make a video just to make a video. I don't care if you want to watch it. I don't care if you want to share it. I'm just trying to reach the people who can actually listen and who can actually see the plans for what they are. Okay. And again, if I can wake one person up, then my mission is accomplished. But my point is this, it's all about digital ID, this whole election fraud and blah, blah, blah. It's all about digital ID. That's it.